In this problem, you're supposed to solve using the quadratic formula. So make sure, those of you guys using a half sheet, write the quadratic formula on your half sheet, you know. Alright, so the first thing is we need to identify our a, b, and c. So a is the number in front of x squared, which is 2. B is the number in front of x, which is 7. And c is the constant. Alright, make sure your equation's always set equal to 0, or else the quadratic formula doesn't work. Now when I taught this, I taught it with a song. It goes to the tune of Pop Goes the Weasel. I'll spare you on this video. I won't sing it to you guys. Mostly because I'm a little tired and have a headache. But you know what? It's a beautiful song. So if you ever look up the quadratic formula song, you can hear it to Pop Goes the Weasel. And it's absolute artwork. Alright, so what I tend to do is I tend to write out the equation, and whenever I see a letter I put parentheses. I find that helps me to keep things, helps me to keep things neat. Alright, so the first two blanks are my b value, which is 7. That doesn't look as nice as I thought it would look. Red's better. Alright, now the next blank and the downstairs blank are my a, which was 2. And my last blank was my c, which is a 4. Now, this problem in particular on your test doesn't have you get to the final solution. It has you get it to where like you've simplified for the most part. And just you're one step away. So we're going to get there one step away. So in my numerator, I have a -7, so I could drop those parentheses. I have that plus or minus symbol. We'll get to that hot mess right there. Alright, I usually take that discriminant that's right there, that's what that's called, and I pull it to the side to simplify it, because I'm too lazy to rewrite this problem over and over. Don't judge me. In my denominator, 2 times 2 is 4. So the discriminant is this part underneath the radical. Alright. Now, we do not ask you to simplify the radical on this test. We just ask you to get a single value under there, which is technically not like the most correct kind of thing to do, but it's fine. Just use your imagination here, kids. Alright, so 7 squared is 49. Minus 4 times 2 is 8. Times 4 is 32. And 49 minus 32 is 17. And so that's what would go under the radical here. Alright, and this is the furthest that we're going to ask you to get to. Alright, this is the exact answer. Now, if you were trying to convert this to a decimal, you're not doing that on this test, but you might see it on a standardized test or something. You would break this into 2 equations. One where this is a plus, and one where this is a minus. And you would just solve that out and get an approximation. Okay, but this gets you to the exact answer. Kind of ugly, but there it is. Let's do that again. So here, my a value, the number in front of x squared. Remember, there's like an imaginary 1 there. My b value, there's a -4 here. Oops. And then my c value is 11. So now I'm going to go ahead and write out the quadratic formula, leaving blanks where each of the letters are. In my head, I'm singing Pop Goes the Weasel. Okay. So now I'm going to fill in my a, b, and c values. Alright, so these first 2 blanks is my b. Remember, I kind of snuck that minus sign in there. So that is a -4 that goes in there. Alright, the next 2 are my a, which is 1. I like an a of 1. That makes life easy. And c is 11. And then we're going to kind of do a cleanup step, right? Polish it. Here, a -4 is a +4. And downstairs, 2 times 1 is 2. So now all that we have to do is take that discriminant to the side and tidy it. Clean it. Because this is ugly. While I'm not big on judging ugly things, I kind of judge it a little. So here we go. So -4 squared, that's a +16, y'all. because negative times a negative is positive. And then here, negative 4 times 1 is negative 4, times 11 is negative 44. Now remember, y'all use a calculator. The amount of times kids add or subtract incorrectly is bonkers. 16 minus 44 is negative 28. And that's where we stop here. Now, if I was doing a discriminant discussion, that would mean that there aren't any real solutions, right? They're imaginary. And that parabola then is above or below the x-axis without ever touching it. Kind of interesting. But there we go.